What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here, goldballhunting.com. Over there. Yeah, man. The young buck, the great Jeff Jacklich, another episode of the Goldball Hunting Podcast. And guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. We got another episode of the podcast for you. Today is December 30, 2019. Yeah. I can hear the freight train approaching. Here comes 2020.
No stopping it.
It's coming down. It's coming down the track. Guys, hang in there with us today because we got another great episode of the Goldball Hunting Podcast for you.
So the big question is this. How are tennis players like us who never played on the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for the victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Jeff Jacklich, and along with Brent Abel, my partner, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting.
Jeffrey, my man, what is going on? Monday, December 30th. What's on the docket today?
Well, we had some rain yesterday afternoon and evening. But I've got some gold ballers on the lineup today, some coaching sessions this afternoon after the courts dry up. And so we're going to see if we can't move the needle.
Oh, nice. Well, listen, my daughter Molly and I are heading over to the Cal, Illinois bowl game, the Red Box Bowl. Played today. Later this afternoon over in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium where the 49ers play. So that's going to be fun. Always fun hanging out with her. She loves football. And so it'll be a good time to hang out with one of the kids. You and I were lamenting a couple of days ago about, you actually brought it up. You said, well, today you get to teach. But yesterday rained. And then was it a day or two before that? I guess it was Saturday.
Friday.
Oh, was it Friday? It was Friday. You had a couple of gold ballers lined up, and then the day of, all of a sudden, but in both their schedules, something popped up.
Yep.
And they had to cancel last minute. And it's not like, you're some kind of a hardcore business where you can go, well, if you can't, got to get it be 24-hour notice or else I'm going to bill you for full. Yeah. So you and I were chatting yesterday about the tennis pro industry and how tough a business it is. I retired from club teaching almost 15 years ago when I was at the California Tennis Club in San Francisco. Fortunately, because I had sort of seen the writing on the wall for me back when I turned 50 in 1998. And just like I talked about yesterday, all right, well, here's kind of 50. Well, what have I been doing? And the epiphany for me when I turned 50 in 1998 was not looking back, it was looking ahead and kind of going, I'm just, financially, I'm just kind of making ends meet month to month I had a good job. It was, head pro tennis director. I was actually still over at Tiburon at that point. But I just kind of looked forward and said, what am I going to do? And so that time the internet was this thing that was starting to maybe get some commercial applications. The next year, I got my first domain, webtennis.net in 1999. And I couldn't get .com because there was some guy in South America who was cyber squatting on it. And I got in touch with the guy. I said, look, I see you're not doing anything with it. You want to give it to me? He said, no, but I'll sell it to you for $15,000. And I said, I know I'm the smartest looking guy in the world, but come on, man. So we went back and forth actually for 2 or 3 years. And I finally got him down from the $15K to about, I think it was about $500. He finally said, fine, just take it, do it, do something with it. So, but we were chatting about how this is a tough business. If you're, there's so many different ways as a tennis pro you can you cannot make income, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can,
It's
someone can cancel. There were times, Cal Club, there were times at Tiburon when one of the kids would be sick. Well, I'm not going to leave the kid at home all by herself, at 10 years old. So I got to cancel. I got to cancel my lessons. I got to stay home.
right,
Um, it rains.
right,
It, you know, a regular student takes a vacation. All right, we'll go into a
right.
vacation, but I'm gonna charge you. Can't do that, right? I mean, there's a dozen plus reasons why, especially Northern California.
And that's before the current trend in corporate-owned clubs, and
Well, that's true. That's
and
true.
that's before that. It already had its challenges, but there was some flexibility that came with it, and so there's um, a lot of great kind of unspoken, unwritten perks that came with it. But at the same time, like you say, rain, wind, snow, sleet, cancellations, vacations, sick people, you're sick, they're sick, somebody's sick,
Well, you're right.
and
I mean, back for me in the day, that was sort of the classic. I was director of tennis / head tennis professional, right? Got 100% of my lessons. They paid me a salary to do the director of tennis, run the events thing, right? You could have a staff, and you would take a small cut of your assistant pros in theory because you were sort of teaching them how to teach. And
right,
and my thing was, look, if I've got the right guy or gal who's a young assistant pro who really wants to stay in the industry, I felt an obligation that I need to give them a system, which I got from Mr. Stowe. I need to give them a system as how to teach the game so that whether it's a junior or an adult, they learn to love the game and play the game for the rest of
right,
their lives. But I felt like, man, you should be within 3 or 4 years, you should be groomed to a point where I should be shoving you out the door and you should be doing your own thing as I'm doing here. Now, what's happened is clubs, whether they're member owned or whether they're privately owned, corporate owned, they're now looking at the tennis department as an income source to offset all the expenses that before they never looked at the tennis pros or the tennis department as sources of income. And whether the clubs sort of became mismanaged or the expenses became too
right.
great, whatever it was, somebody went, wow, those tennis pros are making a lot of money, man. I think why don't we get some for ourselves? And so what's happened, I think, over the decades is that it's become tougher. Just like you said, it's become tougher to make any kind of significant income as a tennis pro. So we're going to make this short today. I think today's episode is really geared towards guys and gals who are in the tennis industry. Whether you're a tennis director, whether you're a manager at a club, whether you're an assistant pro, whether you're just like yourself, Jeff, where you're an independent pro,
Right.
not working at a club, but you got a couple of private courts you're working on. Love to hear from you. Love to hear what your frustrations are. Love to hear just kind of what's going on, right? You can either do it below the video if you want to make it public, or you can just shoot us an email. Let us know at goldballhunting.com. If you can't remember that, Brent at webtennis.com. However you are, you can message us through our Facebook accounts as well.
Yeah,
We'd love to hear what's going on. And you and I are actually working on a project right now. It might be interesting to guys and gals in the tennis industry who were looking for another, not another way, but maybe an additional source of revenue.
right.
That could make some kind of a difference. So, guys, well, there's Bubba. There's Bubba with a bark. Yeah, Boomski. A reminder about the 2 one-day workshops we've got in the desert coming up next month, January 16 and 17 in the California desert. Friday, January 17th is sold out. If that's the only day you can make it, let us know. and we'll put you on the waiting list.